My name is Tim Lankford, and I'm greeting you from the beautiful campus of Gordon Marketing here in central Indiana. It's not snowing, so I know I see some friends out in Las Vegas. We've got oh, you guys are if you're anywhere where it's snowing, you may not like to hear this. We've got a couple friends out joining us from Maui in Hawaii, to our friends down in Florida. I see Maine, I see DC, Michigan. Montana, starting to grow an agency out in Montana now. Um, I welcome you. I do not say this with light of heart when I say I feel honored that you've connected with us this morning. I take it as a very uh, serious event in my life, an opportunity to try to pour into you and to see if there's anything I can do to help you go out and write some protection policies on your clients. I like the idea of saying I want to help you make money, but we all know the most important thing, if we take care of the most important thing, everything else works out. But this is our lighthearted day, our day to be able to celebrate, our day to be able to rejoice with some folks who are out making it happen. And very excited to be able to share with you somebody whom I count as a good friend, somebody right here in central Indiana who is just tearing it up. So proud to be able to have Alex on the phone with us today. And before we go over to or get over to Alex, I want to be able to go over our leaderboards. Um, Becky may not be able to join in this morning. I'm still trying to help her get connected, and it looks like you guys may be stuck with listening to me do our leaderboards. I am so sorry. I tried to bring in a pretty voice. Um, uh, Becky and Jason are getting ready. I'm going to leave from this phone call to do some more taping. Soon, we're hoping by the middle part of next week for you to be able to go right into our website and look at or be able to have access to several videos. We're taping a new intro, a new in-home, several other what I feel like are exciting videos that will help you be able to go out and produce. You'll look at these and say, wow, that's simple. And it's Alex will be able to testify to it. A brain surgeon probably couldn't do what you and I are able to do. We've just got 16 or 17 folks this last week, a minimum on our board. We want to see you being able to clip at least into the mid $50,000 of income. So once you hit $1,000 a week, then we start listing your name on our leaderboard. Other than that, it just starts to get a little too crazy. So we've got top 17 live producers for this second week of January, and we make note of the top 10 annuity producers, and we have that in for me to be able to share with you guys as well. So let me go directly to our leaderboard for the top annuity producers for the second week of 2016. Coming in at number 10 in the nation. Now, this is just in general through Gordon Marketing, folks who are running annuities. So in the second week of January, Lisa Greenwald submitted one annuity for a total of $105,000. Number 9 in the country is Deborah Ewing. Deborah submitted two annuities for a total of $106,743. Jason Grossnickel comes in at number 8. He submitted one annuity for $108,009. For those who may be a little bit new, I see that we've got several new folks joining us this week. When I'm reading off these dollars amount, of the annuity that these folks have submitted, or annuities, plural, take that dollar amount and multiply it times, let's say, zero point 0.6. Zero point 0.6 is probably the least amount that you'll be paid on that annuity. So these folks, if you just submitted 105,000 this week, you will be paid $6,000. So as we climb this leaderboard, just like we climbed up to $1 million last week, $60,000 you'd be paid on $1 million annuity. So number 7 in the nation, a good friend, Jonathan Acevedo, comes in with 2 annuities this last week for a total of $127,000. Number 6 in the country comes in with 1 annuity. Linda Theo wrote a $135,000 annuity. Gary Schlesman wrote 2 annuities for $136,000 for a top 5 spot in the nation. Number 4 in the nation this last week, for the second week of January 2016, was Justin West. Justin wrote 1 annuity for $148,361. Number 3, so the top 3 annuity producers for the second week of January is John Kohler, right here in Indiana. John submitted 2 annuities for a total of $150,000 for that work, which is probably maybe 1, 2, at the most 3 appointments, usually for maybe a half an hour to an hour each appointment. John will make at least $9,000 for those 2 applications. Number 2 in the nation is Tim McSoley. Tim wrote 1 annuity for $200,000. Number 1 in the nation is not new to number 1, but James Dewitt submitted 3 applications. James is going to be looking at a real nice, cool, somewhere between $18,000 and $25,000 for his work this last week. He submitted $302,484 of annuity premium on 3 annuities. Now going over to our life producers for the second week of 2016. Number 17 in the nation on the Josh Sivak team is Anthony Jones. Anthony submitted 1 application this week for $1,113. Number 16 is new to the mortgage protection team. And when I say mortgage protection, this is still, if you are you doing anything on the mortgage protection, we're communicating. You're saying, how do I get better in whether it's going to be life protection, in IUL sales, single premium whole life, annuities. If you and I are conversing and you're interested in writing some simplified issue business, you're on this team. And I will personally do everything I can. Either myself or my 3 assistants will be in contact with you. Excited to be able to introduce a new gentleman coming on our team next week. I will do that next week. But Jay, congratulations on your first application for $1,014. Number 15 in the nation is Gregory Greenwalt with 3 applications for $1,117. Number 14 comes in at Tommy Lee Paget with 2 applications submitted for $1,480. Number 13 is somebody's not shy on the leaderboard for annuities either. Eric Coons wrote 2 applications this last week for $1,695. Number 12 in the nation is right here in Indianapolis, Brian Elston. Brian submitted 2 applications for $1,816. Most people at number 11 would be kind of excited that, hey, I am on track to make $100,000. That's what our number 11 in the nation is doing. But he calls me up and says, and he apologizes. He literally apologized. And I went, Josh, are you kidding me, bro? He had a down week for $2,137 on 4 applications. Our agent who's making it happen from last week, Josh Sivak. So you multiply that out times 52 weeks. There we're talking about real close to that $116,000 income in 2016 that you've heard me talk about so much. Josh already told me that their week changes, so they don't count up until last night like our numbers usually does. But Josh is already on his $10,000 for he will be submitting for our numbers next week. Number 10 in the nation. So you're number 10 agents who are making it happen for families out there. Jose Alfredo Ramirez submitted one application for $2,448. I came in at number 9 this last week. I wrote 4 applications for annualized premium dollars of $3,306. Number 8 in the nation is Paul Brinson. Paul, go make it happen some more. You did 4 applications on $3,744. Congratulations, Paul. Guys, there's something familiar with everybody you're hearing from top 11 on up. Brian's almost in there at number 12. You guys are on track to be able to do $116,000 in 2016. So proud of you guys. That tells me you're going out and making it happen in people's lives. Number 7 in the nation is also on the Josh Sivak team. Andre Dames wrote 7 applications for $4,293. Number 6 in the nation is a good friend of ours up in Michigan, Fred Riddle. He knows how to make it happen. He's been on our call before. He wrote 6 applications and submitted a total annualized premium of $5,016. Guys, that's $250,000 income, what Fred did last week. Fred, I know he and his team will be coming down to our expo. Remember, our expo will be the. Hopefully, you're getting our emails. I believe I'm being very bad here, but I believe it's the second week of March. But make sure that you register for that. You want to be in Indianapolis, Phenomenal Hotel, for our business expo. Fred, congratulations. You stay on track to your $250,000 income. Frank Indris. Frank is also new on the mortgage protection team. Frank, you are happening, brother. You did $5,035 of annualized premium on 4 applications. Mark is also familiar to the top 10, the top 5. Mark was attributed for $7,115 on 1 app for this last week. Thomas Favada. Thomas did 2 applications. Check out these numbers, guys, for the top 3 in the nation. $8,055 of premium. John Kohler, again, right here in Indianapolis area, submitted 3 applications this last week for $8,702. Number 1. You'll hear Charlie. We'll get him on one of these calls because Charlie has just started really saying, hey, how do I get started on the mortgage protection program? He is just going to knock it out of the park as he did this week. Charlie, in life premium for the second week of 2016, submitted 3 applications for a total of $21,571. All those numbers that you're hearing, folks, most of those agents, unless you have some other stipends and things you're getting from your agency manager, most of you are on anywhere from a 75% to 100% contract. Let's just say on the average you're at 90%. Our lowest person that I need to rephrase that, shouldn't I? The person with the smallest premium is still on track to make over $50,000 on 1 application of $1,000 if he's at a 90% contract. Don't want to go any further. You know the numbers. You've heard all of that. Welcome, Alex Joyce. Alex has definitely just absolutely made it happen in this business. Alex is a agent whom I will say is definitely making it happen. Alex is a 28-year-old. He's got a couple of children at home. Both he and a couple of his um, agents, actually, a part of his agency, will be joining me with my wife and a couple other members of our Gordon team in St. Louis next week. So we will still have our Tuesday training webinar for mortgage protection. As you saw in your email, every Friday, 11 a.m. is our conference call. So there's no training webinar that happens on Friday. We just do some celebrating and for you to be able to listen in to an agent who is making it happen. Now, I saw Alex on here on his line, but then usually he has Zach come in. Zach, do I have you and Alex? We may go back to the phone if Zach, do you hear me? So we don't have Zach. Let me call Alex on on my cell phone. That still usually works real well. Let me make sure, excuse me, let me make sure that we can connect with Alex via the phone. And remember, you guys can connect on the telephone as well. So you do not have to just connect on this webinar. So if you're on the road, definitely don't hesitate to try to connect on your cell phone as well. Alex, do I have you?
Hey, how you doing, Tim?
Hey, brother. I saw you on the on my names list, but then I lost you. I opened up Zach. Is it easier here on the cell phone, or should I open up Zach's line again?
No, it's just fine. Zach had to run out and take a sales call. The phone's ringing, but I've been on here the whole time. I did the audio thing on the webinar, but it disconnected me from the other system. But hey, man, thanks for having me.
Oh my goodness, Alex, we're honored that you can take some time with us and be able to share. You're one of those guys that I'm proud to be able to say you wear your heart on your sleeve, and I think that is a major benefit to people who are willing to do that and show their emotions in the home, connect with folks. Share with our listeners. You're being heard in over 40 states right now, Alex, and from you heard from all the different states, but let them know that it works just as well here as it does in their state, and why is it working well for you?
Sure. Yeah. I've been on calls like this before, and I always enjoy sharing. Why the system works, mortgage protection in general. I think it's really an awesome thing, as a lot of you guys know, and Tim, I've told you a lot. I mean, my background when I first started in the industry was annuities, right? So it was always annuities and doing seminars and doing radio. And when I first started in mortgage protection, it was funny because I kind of developed a system where the only reason I was doing mortgage protection was to get in front of more clients to do more annuity business. And it was fun, and it happened that way. I mean, I was writing a lot of annuity business, and I actually just wrote an annuity today for my mortgage protection client, $500,000. But it just so happened that the clients that I was sitting in front of, it really was, and I still believe in it, it was just the perfect door opener, not just to help a client out when it comes to the unexpected death or the death of the breadwinner, and putting the protection in place to help the existing spouse. But they're boomers, right, Tim? I mean, they're baby boomers.
Absolutely.
A lot of the clients, if you position yourself appropriately, they're going to have assets. I heard a lot of some big annuity numbers on the call today, so that's really awesome. I've always said that it just comes down to timing, right? Some of the best things in life happen with timing. And right now, for what we're doing in this niche market, the timing couldn't be perfect. We've seen, just with data, we've seen an extra push when the Fed increased the interest rates. So it's like, it's going to get better, right?
Absolutely.
More people are buying, more people are refinancing. It's not like it's one of those things where you're an asset manager and you're getting a ton of phone calls from people because the market's going down. It doesn't affect that. It's just simple. Just put your head down. You follow the process, follow the system, believe in what you're doing, believe in the product, believe you're changing somebody's life, and go out there and just do it. So it's really been really exciting for us, and this is really an exciting time.
I've got to let everyone hear, though. I mean, you've got so many. Gosh, you're what, about 30 years in the field now. So tell them a little bit about who you are. And some folks, we talk about some people may want to go over to the corner and throw up if they're in their 40s and 50s, thinking I'm going to be able to do $60,000 this year. Get a little bit personal on everybody here, Alex.
Yeah. Some of you guys, you've heard me say this, and Tim, you know what my goal is. I mean, I've always said that my number one goal in mortgage protection is really going to help me get there. Just this side of the business, this market. My number one goal this year, because I've always said I want to make $1 million before I'm 30 years old, and I can't express or put in writing or tell you how sincere I am about that. It's going to happen. I mean, it just really is. We're in a position now. I mean, I've got it mapped out, right? We're in a position now that if it doesn't happen, it's by some catastrophic, some kind of something that's completely out of my control. And I've always said that if I walked into a dark room and somebody hit me in the head with a baseball bat, I'd put that on myself because I didn't duck. So we're really in a good position. I'm in a good position. We're really excited. We've got a really strong team out there, putting together some really strong numbers. Growing like crazy, so it's happening, man. It's reality.
So go into that a little bit as far as you are still in the field. So you'll still usually take what, one or two if the opportunity's there. If you have to run some leads yourself, you're out there what, 3 days a week, but at least what, 1 or 2 days a week, would you say average?
Yeah, I would, and I want to get out there more. I want to really start because we really dial. We really hit hard, and we dial obviously. On the weekends, dial Saturday, we dial Monday. We're dialing every day, and I'm a really big part of that. I really believe in if you're behind in your bills, you need to pick up the phone. I believe in if you have goals in life and you want to make a certain income or be at a certain level in your life or whatever it is, you want to buy your wife a car or a house, no matter what it is, pick up the phone. So that's really where my passion is today. But I really enjoy the field. I mean, we've got a pretty large agency, and I started it from scratch. I mean, when I first took my first appointment, I was like, wow, this is it. This is it. And it just felt like that. So I really love it. So I really want to start running more, Tim. I want to get out there really every Saturday. I want to book myself up for all day Saturday if my wife will let me, and just run them out. Doesn't matter if it's mortgage protection, final expense, whatever the case may be, or mortgage payment protection using final expense, whatever the case may be. I really want to get out there and start running more. But yeah, I'm out there, a day or two a week.
I didn't think you were doing much more than that. And as a 28-year-old, now have you did I slip up and see a birthday yet at 29? You're still 28?
Yeah, you did. I turned 29.
I thought so. So okay, well, late happy birthday. So so this year we've now I see all sorts of numbers that you've got on track to be well past 500,000, but you're still looking for that magic number of $1 million here in the next 12 months, huh?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And guys, that's from mortgage protection. Alex, as you heard him share, we'll get into also annuities, but you're still running a mortgage protection lead. Is that probably the simplest way to describe it, Alex? Like you said, you have these annuities that grow out from your mortgage protection leads as well.
100%. 100%. I mean, we're using the same lead. We're pulling the same data. We're talking to the people that just refinanced. We're talking to these people that just, a new purchase. The average client is it's all the same, right? The average client's, it's a baby boomer. The average mortgage is probably, I don't know. I mean, my favorite client is probably 60 years old. 55, 60 years old, knows about 100 or 150,000 on his house. But yeah, I mean, exactly right. I mean, I've written millions of dollars of annuity, business from a mortgage protection lead. Absolutely, 100%.
Very, very cool. Mary Jo Pollock is asking as far as a system. Would you, great question, Mary Jo. And guys, if you undock your question box, we try to keep this call to about 30 to 40 minutes. And if that will be, if Alex can give us that much time. So shoot over some questions. And Alex, a couple times he's already been on our calls in this last year, has been so generous to be able to answer questions from you. That's why I use the GoToWebinar platform so that you can undock your question box and shoot a question. You've got somebody here who is tremendously making it happen for clients in the field. You want to be a cutting edge agent. Well, you think of anything, I'll shoot that to Alex. Mary Jo's asking what system. If you would try to describe maybe what you do when you have that mortgage lead. Mary Jo, I've got forms and in-home forms, sales presentations. I will shoot you, but let's hear it straight from Alex.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, as soon as we get the lead, we dial it, right? So we dial the lead as soon as we get them in the morning. We dial them about three different, not three different times per person, but three different times throughout the day. So we want to make sure we understand what's most important to us when we first get the lead is how quickly can we draw a conclusion, whether the conclusion is us getting in the house and making that prospect a client, or if it's us, them screaming and cussing at us and telling us that we're harassing them, or whether it's saying that the data is bad and they don't have a mortgage. We want to draw a conclusion on every single lead. When we schedule that appointment, everything we're dialing in terms of a system with appointments, everything we dial for today, for instance, we're setting for tomorrow. Is the freshness, right? We want to make sure that just helps with our show ratio. So we want to be within that tomorrow maximum, 2 days out, if you will, next day, the next day after that. Anything really past that, we're really kind of, in my opinion, playing for 50%. And we really don't
Can I slow you down there, Alex?
We don't like no show.
Let me, would you make more of an emphasis on that? Because I don't think agents hear it enough of how soon you're dialing, and you're not trying to dial and set for a week out and 2 weeks out. Would you mind going over that again?
Sure. We don't do it. We don't. It does. It's the fastest way to burn a lead. We don't. And I did it before, Tim. We used to come in when I first started, and I had a couple guys. We used to come in on a Saturday, and we would dial, and we would set our whole week up. We dial all day Saturday. We set our whole week up Monday through Friday. And then what I noticed was Monday was okay. To me, we had some some no shows, more reschedules than no shows. Tuesday was good. Wednesday they start falling off. Thursday they're not there. Friday they're definitely not there, and they forgot. Not I forgot, and I can reschedule it. Like they don't care. So every time we dial, we'll hit them in the morning, we'll hit them in the afternoon, and we'll hit them really hard in the evening. Everything we schedule today, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, we're dialing for tomorrow. Everybody's taking appointments. We're dialing every appointment that is set today. 95% of the time, we're booking for tomorrow. Now,
Excellent.
The only time we won't do that is if a client adamantly requests a day. And when they push back on the phone, Tim, one thing we really do a good job at is we tell them straight up over the phone, we simply don't schedule that far out. I'm sorry, that's not available. We don't schedule that far out. And it's just having the control over the phone.
Perfect.
I can't do it, this Monday, but I can do it next Monday. We don't do that. So it's, that's kind of how we're doing it.
Perfect. Now, I love it. And it's within 48 hours. What would you say is the an average percentage of when one of your agents is sitting down with a client out of 10? How many of those are your agents closing?
So if my agents sit down in front of 10 people, we're probably going to close on average of probably 8.
Fantastic. I knew it was going to be. Mine's a little over 7.
2 apps in one house, as you know. We're getting 2 apps in one house, so it's we're right at that 80% average range.
Fantastic, guys. This is not anything strange. Alex is not fabricating here, guys. This is real. Mary Jo, I won't get so much into the agency yet. Mary Jo, if we have a few minutes, maybe at the end, but maybe real quickly, if we wanted to touch on how'd you build your agency, and then I want to get right back to the appointment.
Sure. Just recruiting. I mean, just we've hired people that have licenses. I probably prefer people that don't have licenses that we can really show the system to and develop and help. But it's Career Builder, it's Monster, it's LinkedIn, it's what's the other one?
Well, I know you've ran some Craigslist too, and
yeah.
so you're on it. Wherever you can find somebody who's interested, you're on it, aren't you?
Yeah, that's all we need is drive, desire, passion. Well, somebody that wants to change their life. I don't care where they work, if it's McDonald's or in a call center. It doesn't matter to me. If they've got some drive and they want something that's going to change their lives and they're willing to put in some hard work to do it, I mean, they're a value to the team.
Fantastic. I love it. Sam's asking, how do you bridge your conversation from mortgage protection to annuities?
We have we have a fact find that we go through, right? So the in-house presentation to us is, we position it. We definitely, as you guys do, I'm sure in the field, and Tim, this, we've talked about this. We position ourselves as the expert. We position ourselves as the expert. We position ourselves as, we give a really strong intent statement. The intent statement is, again, thanks for having me locally home. What I'd like to do, because we think it's very important for you and your family to know more about us. We want to learn more about you. So when we make our recommendation, we make sure it's sound for you and your family financially. Fair enough? Fair enough. So I told them in the very beginning, I'm going to tell them more about me, who I am, my story. And then I told them that I'm going to get to know you and your family, in more detail. So when I make my recommendation, it's a good fit. So I told them I'm going to do some sort of analysis or fact find. So I'm going to take their information because we're a consultant. And then in that fact find that I'm sure you guys have is all the questions you need to ask. So it's, do you have a will? Do you have a financial planner? Do you have and it's just going through some type of mild, facts about their financials, right? It does go into some detail in terms of, do you have assets in terms of IRA money or 401k money? And it does go into some detail. It is a full-blown fact find. I use it thoroughly, but we don't train our agents when they first start to use it thoroughly. But the fact of the matter is, I can guarantee, because I've seen it, probably 75% of the houses you walk into have at least $100,000 of assets that you can probably do something with. It's just out there. I mean, if you're sitting in front of a GM employee that retired or he's 6 years old and he's been at the job for 30 years, 20 years, he's got money. It's just really up to us to ask for it and be in a position so they'll be honest to us and tell us where it's at, so we can, at the end, right, because you're there for mortgage protection, at the end we can circle back around and say, hey, based on, my thoughts on, or what I'd like to do next is, right, to better service the client.
Perfect. So you're making that real strong connection up front. And yes, Kevin, I'll get you over. We've got the phone scripts. We've got the in-home presentation. Yes, we've got the fact finder. And absolutely what Alex is saying. You don't take time up front and establish that rapport, you're wasting your time in the mortgage protection. We've got to have that connection with the client, or that recommendation that Alex is talking about will go in one ear and out the other ear. And then I've got agents saying, well, I can set the appointment, but I can only close 1 out of 10. Well, you're not listening to Alex. You're not listening to Tim when we say go through the fact finder, make the connection, then we offer them a solution. It is not, I will never call it easy, but guys, it is simple. Is that a fair way to still describe it, Alex?
Absolutely. And you said it perfect. You have to make them a client first. You can't, the whole time we're going through that, we're telling them, because it's psychological, we're telling them what we're not doing, right? We really focus on this, we really do that, we really do this, but that's not what we're here to discuss today, right? So, we sprinkle some more on, and then we take it back. Because psychologically, what do they want? They want what they can't have. They want the insight. They want the knowledge. They want the education. So when you make them a client and provide the benefit, the protection of mortgage protection, it's really easy to get back into that conversation, because that's what they've been thinking about the whole time.
And you're keeping that, and I know you're training your guys to keep that lead sheet so they see they filled it out. I mean, that's the first thing that they're looking at, aren't they?
Absolutely.
And that's why we're there. So I love being able to flow into annuities and to be able to find other things, but you're there for, and I still love your question, Sam, but you're there to do one thing and to be one and done. This is a one and done with mortgage protection. And again, excellent question. Another, Sam, this is not the 2 appointment. Absolutely not. You're not getting a fact finder, leaving and compiling. It is within 45 to 60 minutes. I sat with 5 homes in the last 2 days. If you remember on Tuesday that when I did my webinar and set the appointments on over the phone with you, I sat with 5 families. I was able to help all 5 families. I wrote 6 applications for a little over $3,000. It works, and that's one and done. Now I'm going back tomorrow on a family that I sat with on Wednesday because we were talking about an IUL. So okay, I'm good with that. But no, we want to go back and do a follow-up after we've got simplified issue business in place. Is that also the way that you're training your agents as well, aren't you, Alex?
Yes.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Goodness, time's getting away a little bit. What's keeping you, besides just the dollar amount? I want people to hear a little bit more of who Alex is. What are, because I believe the dollar is the dream, but the goal is I want to do this and this. And I always like to emphasize it's more with how many persons can I help? How many other agents can I train? What is it for Alex Joyce? What is it that's more than just saying that $1 million? What will you do with that $1 million?
Man, I would, for one, when I say $1 million, what it's truly about is that financial freedom. But what I would really do, and what my passion is to help other people. Right, is to have the ability with those monies to be in a position to grow, to broaden our recruiting efforts, to strengthen our brand, to get the word out there stronger, to increase our marketing, to the next level. And we've done a lot of different things, Tim, as you know. But to just be the just get the word out there, man, and that's what it's all about. Just really giving back that way, and because the world is, the country is a big place. I mean, there's a huge market out there. Here we are in Indianapolis, and we've got 2 million people here, and it's like, wow, man, this is a big market. We haven't even really touched the surface of it. It's just we want to grow, we want to expand. I think all of our goals are the same, but we really just have we have this, it's on paper, it's mapped out, we know what we need to do to get there, and it's just hitting those goals, right, those short term, and really just maximizing now to really be in a better position to hit that and maximize on the long term goal, and that's what we're really focused on.
Very, very cool. It's always got to be more when folks, you just can't hold out here, go after this dollar amount. You got to put some more feet. I was always raised with, you got to put some feet on your prayers. God will honor your prayers. A lot of times, it's just like the guy out in the raft. That's always think of Tom Hanks and what was it not Survivor, but do you remember the movie I'm talking about where he was, with the FedEx crash landed on a deserted island. Then he makeshift a raft to fly out in the stream of where the ships are at. What's the name of that movie? Castaway. Thank you, Tim.
Castaway. Castaway.
I'm so sorry. I digressed there. But I was always raised with it's just like that man on that raft that, God's going to save me. God's going to save me. God's going to save me. And, so this guy with a little rowboat comes by and says, hey, buddy, come on, jump in the boat. I'll help you. And he says, no, God's going to save me. God's going to save. And then a big old ship comes by and says, dude, come on, we'll help you. No. He pushed them away. He says, God's going to save. Well, you know where I'm going. He ends up in heaven, and he says, why didn't you come and save me? He says, how many times do you need me to try to save you? And so, yeah, it's a matter of just sometimes going out and seeing what's in front of you and working with these people who are asking us. But anyhow, put some feet on the prayers versus just trying to say, oh, God's going to bring me these wonderful things. Bro, get off your butt.
Yeah.
Use Alex as your as a shining example of going out and making it happen. Oh goodness, we could go on forever, guys. There's quite a few questions. I will answer offline. And any closing thoughts, Alex? You've been so generous with your time again. I appreciate you, brother. Looking forward to celebrating with you and several members of your team next week in New Orleans for some of the 2015 that you guys have done.
Absolutely, it's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. A little breath of fresh air. So no, the last words. I mean, just trust the system. I mean, what Tim is telling you is absolutely the truth. I mean, what I'm saying is what we live every single day. It's really simple. I mean, I don't know how to say it. It's a really simple thing out there. I mean, if you really just focus and follow the system and the steps of the process, everything will fall in place. Don't get upset. Don't if you guys are new to mortgage protection, just jump in both feet. Don't be afraid of it. Go close. It's a lot of fun. So hey, Tim, thanks for having me. Anytime. It's been a pleasure.
Well, my friend, we'll keep bugging you about every 6 to 8 weeks. If you allow us to do that, we look forward to having you on.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
God bless you, Alex. Well, guys, that's as strong as it goes. Following up with Josh Sivak last week. Oh my goodness, you're going to be excited with a gentleman that I'll be able to introduce you to for the first time this next Friday, but Tuesday. So this coming Tuesday, we've had several questions about, hey, what do I do with mortgage protection? Tuesday is our training webinar. Remember, Friday is a little bit more of a celebration of folks, of agents who are going out and making it happen. Tuesday at 11 a.m., every Tuesday at 11 a.m. is more of our training webinar. It's either a game, what I call a game changer product of what I've been sharing with you from my heart these last 3 and 4 weeks of my in-home and setting appointments and the mindset of the phone call. You've got all of those access on our website. So you can go over to www.gordonmarketing.com and you hover your cursor over the Life tab that you'll see in the blue ribbon through the middle that goes left to right on our main web page. And when you see Mortgage Protection Selling System, from the drop-down box, click on there, and then you will be guided to videos and podcasts. So you can go here to listen to this call. Jason will probably upload this here either today or Monday, so it'll be available the middle part of next week as well. Celebrating next week, definitely with many agents. We're taking out a couple dozen agents with us down to New Orleans. 2016's trip, you see from the intro video, that's where we're taking our agents this year. Our agents who did $60,000 of premium with us in 2015. How many did you hear that on just the annualized premium that they're 8 or 10 or 20,000 in 1 week? Sometimes it's a matter of pushing out of your comfort zone. If you're looking for a dollar value per week, a minimum dollar value that you should be submitting on helping clients as $2,000 a week. That's minimum. Now, praise God that you are on the team. If you're submitting, one app for $500 a week, wow, you are on the team. I congratulate you. I don't want you to kid yourself. If you are truly trying to make a difference in people's lives, I really want you to be looking at that $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a week. My $3,000 that I did this week, guys, that was sitting on actually it was two appointments on Wednesday and two appointments. Actually, it ended up being 3 appointments yesterday. That was for a total of about 6 hours. Don't kid yourself. This is not difficult. I won't call it easy, but it's not difficult concept to grasp. I encourage you, I implore you to go out and 3 things real quick. And the final, we'll close this with this, as I do every webinar and every conference call. I want you to be an agent who's making it happen for your income. Wave that flag, put that dollar amount out there. I want you to be, number 2, an agent who is making it happen for his or her family, or those people who are significant or important to you. Number 3 takes care of the first 2. If you go out and do number 3, you will take care of the first 2. If you go out and make it happen for a client, you will take care of the first 2. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you for all of the comments. I'll answer as many of those as I will this afternoon and this evening. I leave from here to start going to do some more taping, and look forward to giving a major hello to our agents next week at New Orleans, and then a follow-up. Don't forget 2 things. January the 28th, coming in on the Gordon campus. You really are serious about $116,000? You want to be here when I've got an executive coming in from Mutual of Omaha on the 28th. I believe that's a Thursday. Whatever that last Thursday is in January, he's coming in here from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. He's buying your lunch. Come in here, sit, listen to Adam Shatty from Mutual of Omaha. He'll talk to you about how to write simplified issue business and be able to get paid within 48 to 72 hours later. Wonderful, wonderful opportunity for you to come and sit and listen, an opportunity for me to meet you. I look forward to that, the last Thursday of this month, just a couple weeks away, and excited to be able to invite you to 2017 trip. We will announce that and put something out instead of Cancun. Cancun is awesome that we're taking people to this year who qualified last year, but I want you knowing what you can qualify for May of 2017. Guys, many blessings. God bless you.